Before fame, many of today's biggest stars lived surprisingly ordinary, or even unusual, lives. Here are 20 celebrities and what they used to do before becoming famous. Hugh Jackman. He's known worldwide as Wolverine, the fierce and brooding mutant from X-Men. But before his claws came out, Hugh Jackman was a high school PE teacher in England. Imagine trying to skip gym class, and Wolverine tells you to run faster. That's one way to stay fit. 2. Madonna. The material girl wasn't always rolling in luxury. Before taking over pop music, Madonna worked at Dunkin Donuts in New York City and got fired for squirting jelly filling at a customer. Maybe that was her early way of saying, express yourself. 3. Brad Pitt. Before becoming one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces, Brad worked as a mascot, dressed as a giant chicken for a fast food restaurant called Pollo Loco. From chicken suits to custom tuxedos. Talk about a glow-up. 4. Whoopi Goldberg. Before her Oscar, her EGOT status, and her seat on The View, Whoopi worked as a mortuary makeup artist, preparing bodies for funerals. You could say she brought life, or at least style, to the dead. 5. Johnny Depp. Before Jack Sparrow ruled the seas, Johnny was trying to sell ballpoint pens over the phone. He went from, "Can I interest you in a writing instrument?" to, "But why is the rum gone?" 6. Megan Fox. Before Transformers made her a global star, Megan wore a banana costume to promote a smoothie shop in Florida. The lesson? You never know who's inside the fruit suit. It might just be your future celebrity crush. 7. Christopher Walken. That voice, that stare, he's one of the most unique actors in Hollywood. But before that, young Walken worked as a lion tamer's assistant in a traveling circus. So yes, he really did have Walken with lions on his resume. 8. Rachel McAdams. She stole hearts in The Notebook, but before that, Rachel worked at McDonald's for 3 years. She admits she wasn't exactly Employee of the Month. Apparently, her milkshake machine broke hearts and the equipment. 9. Channing Tatum before Magic. Mike hit theaters. Channing was living the real version, working as a stripper in Tampa, Florida. Turns out all that dance training paid off. Literally. 10. Beyoncé before Crazy in Love. Beyoncé was sweeping hair salon floors at her mum's beauty shop in Houston. That's where she learned discipline, work ethic, and maybe a few lessons in confidence, all while surrounded by strong women. 11. Tom Cruise. Known for doing his own stunts in Mission Impossible, Tom once planned a very different mission. He actually studied to become a Catholic priest. But clearly, Hollywood was his true calling. Because we can't imagine Ethan Hunt in a robe and collar. 12. Jennifer Aniston. Before Friends made her a household name, Jennifer worked as a telemarketer and even a bike messenger in New York. She jokes that she was terrible at both, which is probably why she ended up delivering punchlines instead. 13. Jim Carrey. Before becoming one of comedy's biggest names, Jim worked as a janitor and factory cleaner in Canada. He used to practice his impressions while mopping floors, which proves that sometimes you really can laugh your way to the top. 14. Lady Gaga. Before she was selling out stadiums and winning Oscars, Gaga was a waitress and go-go dancer in New York's Lower East Side. She took her first stage name, Gaga, from a Queen song and turned nightlife grit into global glamour. 15. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Before the wrestling ring, before Hollywood blockbusters, The Rock was briefly homeless and later a college football player at the University of Miami. When his NFL dreams didn't pan out, he famously said, "Sometimes life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you need." And boy, did it ever. 16. Margot Robbie. Before Barbie, before The Wolf of Wall Street, Margot worked at Subway making sandwiches in Australia. She says her favorite part was wrapping them perfectly, which kind of explains why she's so good at wrapping the world around her finger now. 17. Harrison Ford. Before becoming Han Solo and Indiana Jones, Harrison was a carpenter. He built furniture and even worked on George Lucas's house, who later cast him in Star Wars. So technically, woodworking helped him build his career. Literally. 18. Cardi B. Before Bodak Yellow blew up, Cardi worked as a cashier and later a stripper, a move she says saved her from poverty and gave her independence. Now she's making money moves and probably tipping better than anyone else. 19. Steve Buscemi. Before his acting career, Steve was a New York firefighter. After September 11th, he quietly returned to help at Ground Zero, refusing publicity. From firefighter to Hollywood legend. That's a real-life hero arc. 20. George Clooney. Before becoming one of Hollywood's smoothest stars, Clooney sold insurance door-to-door and even tried out for a baseball team. Neither worked out. Everyone starts somewhere. From fast food counters to funeral homes, from lions to lattes, it's a reminder that your humble beginnings don't define your ending.